Ominous music playing. Eminem.
Is this ominous?
I think a little bit.
This is like hyped up, man. He's like
I would say this is ominous.
he's getting ready to like go to battle, man.
Well, it stands to reason. The song is called "Till I Collapse," and
Yeah.
if we're listening to Danny, the city will collapse.
The city will literally die.
Portland is about to collapse because of some audio
Thanks to Sean Hiken
of an exchange between Sean Hiken of Rose Garden Report.
and the Slender Man.
Boy,
He's
dude,
terrifying.
Can we talk about an exchange? Look, no offense to
Is that
either.
the Spider-Man meme in real life? Hiking in silver?
Yeah, no offense to either of those two jabronis, but is that the weirdest looking exchange of two sportsmen in the history of sports? Look at us side by side of those two guys.
Well, they're oddly similar.
Yeah, oddly, yeah. But it's just
Stop it. You got me. Stop it. No, you'd
find me a. I don't know. I'd rather that be radio than video.
No, dude. I'm just.
Know what I mean?
Oh, Adam Silver terrifies me.
So
I
here,
think
here,
he's the scariest thing going.
here's the comment or the exchange.
It's the league's preference that that team remain in Portland. We've had great success in Portland over the years. I don't have a specific update on the process, but I know it is underway, and I know there are groups that are actively engaged with the estate and have demonstrated interest in that team. I'd say one of the factors there is the city of Portland likely needs a new arena. So that will be part of the challenge for any new ownership group coming in, but it does certainly be our preference that team remain in Portland.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
And
that's what he said.
And I think what
Bottom line, their ass.
what's
Whoa.
freaking people out
Kyle
twofold.
Whittingham
Hey,
chiming in.
I'm AI.
Wait,
Kyle
AI
Whittingham.
Kyle Whittingham.
Yeah. The two things that are freaking people out is Bill Simmons had a report a week ago, and then David Aldrich confirmed it, that right now they don't have the votes on expansion. And that seemed to be a done deal. They thought maybe at these meetings that they were going to announce Vegas and Seattle.
But that James Dolan is leading a group of others that is
Yes.
essentially trying to block expansion.
Why? Don't they make a bunch of money from expansion?
There's a big expansion fee, but it sounds like they want to see how the new media deal affects everything and the payouts, and they want to go into this because yes, you do get the expansion fee, but then forever you're having to cut the pie now 32 ways and not 30. So it just sounds like maybe it's been put on pause a little bit. The other rumor out there is that they don't want to expand because then you can use the threat of Vegas and Seattle for leverage with New Orleans and Portland that both need new arenas.
Blazers.
So if you have Vegas and you have Seattle, that takes a little bit of the threat out. But when you have New Orleans that doesn't really support the Pelicans, and then you have Portland that has a tenuous grip on this, you can certainly leverage Seattle and Vegas against those. So sounds like expansion, at least for the time being, gets put on the back burner. We know the Portland team's going to sell probably in the next year to year and a half. And the word in there that's scaring everyone is it is the preference of the league.
Yeah.
But we see this all the time in sports where commissioners do the bidding of owners, and they are going to use this to try to get the city and whoever the owner is to get a new arena. And we talked about this. I don't know why all of a sudden this has become like this, oh my God, whoever buys the Blazers, not only are you forking over $4 billion for the team, but we told you it's going to be another $2 billion to build an arena. And knowing Portland, you're not going to get a ton of public funding. It would make sense if you did something like they did with the Major League Baseball stadium. What was it, $800 million with the jock tax? I could see something like that. I could see you doing some sort of maybe, $100 million, $250 million in ancillary stuff around that the city's contributing as far as infrastructure. I could see the city giving some sort of sweetheart of a deal on land or tax breaks, but it's not going to be a publicly financed stadium. Portland would never go for it. So whoever buys the team is going to have to understand that you have one of the oldest buildings in the country, and part of buying the team is going to be a plan to either build a new arena or go somewhere that doesn't. And I would like to believe, and I still do believe it in my heart of hearts, that part of this vetting process will be a plan to build an arena in Portland. I do not think the NBA wants the look of what happened with Seattle in the Pacific Northwest. And I think a lot of this is a leverage play. Is it on the table? Sure. I don't think it's
Is
impossible.
what on the table?
The idea that they could leave. That's always a possibility
yeah,
because teams
course.
leave.
Of course.
But I believe that this here specifically, all of this is a leverage play by the NBA
This here now.
to kind of lube the deal that whoever buys the Blazers will
Here
have
now.
a plan to get a stadium because
Well, yeah.
Moda Center in the next 5 years needs to be replaced.
Anytime a sports franchise needs an arena or stadium,
Yes.
isn't this always
This is every
the
time.
first thing that the
Yes.
second it kind of gets to like, oh crap, who's going to pay? The league owners come out and they do this
Yes.
in every sport.
Every sport.
Doesn't matter how popular that sport is. Weren't they talking about this in Detroit?
Yes.
Detroit's like one of the biggest sports cities in the country.
It's called Hockey Town, for God's sakes.
Yeah, and the Red Wings were like, well,
and
I don't know.
And the Illich family was like, well, we play in
I
Joe
don't know.
Louis Arena, and I'll tell you what, and by the way, the Illich family's worth $4 billion, and property in Detroit's worth like 6 cents, and they're like, well, if, I don't think we can do this on our own, and if you don't, and while it wasn't necessarily an all publicly funded, they got the city of Detroit to bend over backwards, and they used it as some leverage, and they got some sweetheart construction deals, and they got some free land, basically, and the city worked with them. And yes, they used that leverage, and that's Detroit and the Red Wings. So yes, this gets used at every turn. Occasionally someone calls the bluff, and a team leaves, but like in Seattle, he never wanted to keep him there.
Well, here's my question with this, and I've always been one to talk everyone down from saying the Blazers are going anywhere because in the main thought process there is that the league, I mean, the Northwest got hosed on the Sonics deal.
Yes.
They absolutely got hosed.
In the worst possible way.
And some of that was on the Sonics owner, Howard Schultz.
Yeah.
And I think I don't think the league wants that to happen again to the Northwest. Portland has been a very good market.
Yes.
It's not like New Orleans.
No.
You are a good fan base. You support this team. Now, the franchise has a duty to put a better product out there for you to support, but you have been shockingly patient with them, and you have been they couldn't ask more from their fans.
No.
I don't think, even though they will ask more from you, and they always do. You have been great, and the league knows that. This is a good NBA market, okay? So they know that that expansion will eventually go to Seattle, and it will be the Sonics, so they kept the Sonics name. That everybody knows that's going to happen. Just because they don't have the votes now doesn't mean they won't have the votes in a year or 2 years, okay? So that's the first thing. So it's not going to Seattle. Then the question that I have, the one question, there is one question that pops up at this, because I've always, we're on the same page on this, always have been. Blazers aren't going anywhere. But there is one little kind of loose end. And in the interest of time, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, I want to ask this question about who actually fights for the team to stay. That is what I want to ask, because Howard Schultz didn't.
No, he did not.
Will the NBA? Because I'm not sure the Allen estate will. So that's really my big question here.